How to quickly profit from a big blog using the best growth hacks. Part 2. Growth hacks for quickly growing your audience. This all takes time though. Lots of time. And this training is all about making money and being successful at internet marketing in the shortest possible amount of time. So if you want to accelerate your progress and start growing your audience even faster, what do you need to do? One answer is to use growth hacks. These are simple techniques that you can use in order to grow and promote your website that don't involve gradually waiting for it to spread by word of mouth. One of the very most powerful and popular examples is to use something called influencer marketing. Simply, influencer marketing means that you're going to leverage the power of an existing influencer, someone who already has a lot of sway and a big audience in the same niche or a related niche. If you could find a YouTuber who has 500,000 views on every single video, then all you need to do is to message them and get them to mention your website or blog in their next video. If you can get them to do this, then you can potentially generate hundreds of thousands of visits to your website that very day. This can transform the success of your business overnight. Of course, the hard part of influencer marketing is finding the influencers and then convincing them that they should promote you. One way to get around this is to offer to pay them for their time. Another option is to find an influencer who is easygoing and doesn't mind giving you a shout out. Some are just having fun and happy to help. Or potentially, you could offer to do something for them instead. How about working on a project with them? If you have a skill set that you can offer, then you can somehow help to boost their success, and at the same time, they'll be likely to give you a shout out. For example, if you know how to make apps, then get in touch and offer to build them their very own app. In all likelihood, they'll be excited and complimented, and as such, they'll promote the app, which you can then split the revenue for 50-50. If you struggle to get an influencer to listen, then one great strategy is simply to hire them for something. If you can find an influencer who offers any kind of consultation or who sells a product, then order that from them, and they will be obligated to respond to you. Yet another great option is to meet them in person. Once you've actually made contact in one of these ways, then you'll likely find that they're much more inclined to listen and to help you out. It's all about building genuine relationships and connections. Another good option for a growth hack is just to find that perfect route to market. And often if you can create the perfect blog post and promote it in the perfect location, then you'll find that you can get a huge influx of traffic from just a single link. The key is to make your post interesting and unique enough that anyone in a certain subreddit or forum will be sure to want to read it. If you can do this well, then you can generate thousands of clicks, and several of those might be interested to subscribe to your feed or maybe even to order a product there and then. Your super fast guide to SEO. This would not be a training on internet marketing though if we didn't at least touch on SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, which for all intents and purposes really means Google optimization. The idea behind this is that you're making changes to your website and creating links to your website, and in this way, you're going to make your site more likely to show up in the search results when someone looks for something related on Google. Unfortunately, this is not a particularly quick tool when it comes to marketing your site. SEO takes a lot of time, and there is never any guarantee that it is going to be effective. You can put a lot of effort in and still find that it doesn't work. But if you create a systemized approach for your SEO, then you can find ways to speed up the process. For example, by making a new post once a week or even by outsourcing the process. Essentially, Google works by looking for content that matches the search terms that people are looking for. When someone searches for a specific phrase, Google looks for the content in its index and then shows them the sites with the most relevant content. In order to add new sites to that index, Google uses spiders, programs that crawl the web by following links. Google also looks at each link as a testimonial, and the better the site that links to you, the more weight that testimony has. Your aim then is to fill your site with high-quality content that Google will see as being relevant, and it is to get the most important and biggest sites to link to you. Once again, this often means working with influencers. Don't try to trick Google. Don't try to spam Google. Don't try to keyword stuff, repeating the search phrase in your content over and over again. And don't pay people to share your links. Google is smart enough to catch you, and you will be penalized. Instead, Focus on making your site into the kind of high-quality site that the key influencers will be happy to associate with. Does your brand look as good as the top competition on the web? If not, then you need to work on that. But what you do need to understand is that from Google's perspective, getting one of the right links can completely change a game and is worth countless low-quality links. To get those right links, you need to understand who it is that Google trusts. The answer? Google trusts sites that are authorities. That means .gov domains and .edu. It means older sites that have been around for a long time and sites with recognized brands. If your site gets a link from a site like that, then you will get a much bigger boost in much less time. But what's more is that if you get a link from a site that has a link like that, then you'll still get a very big boost. Consider this a little like degrees of separation. Another tip is to look for sites that Google features in its news section. If Google puts a site there, then that's a very good sign that it trusts that brand. Focus your time on building these links and delivering quality, and your SEO will be twice as effective in half the time. Productivity tips to help you do more work in less time. All of these tips and strategies will hopefully show you that you can be highly effective as an internet marketer in a fraction of the time that it would take to handle similar marketing offline. The web is a powerful equalizer and a great force multiplier. It allows individuals to have all the impact of huge corporations. But while these systems are quick and powerful, you also need to think about how you can optimize and streamline your approach to them. How can you become faster so that you can get more done in less time? There are plenty of answers to this, but largely, it will once again come down to leveraging the power of the internet and using the tools and resources that it presents you with. For example, one thing that you should never underrate is the power of outsourcing to other service providers. If you can get someone else to complete a task for you, then that frees you up time to work on other more important things. Don't be shy to do that. Need to edit the cover of a PLR product? Write blog content? Build a list of potential influencers to contact? Then consider hiring a freelancer through a site like Upwork, Upwork.com, or consider using a virtual assistant who will do nearly any online job for just a few dollars per hour. If you can do this, then you can get a lot of your systems to work for you. Heck, you can even go one step further and use service arbitrage. This means you're going to offer your services as a writer or a web designer for $30 per hour, and then outsource the work to a white label service that will do it for $20 an hour. You just pocket the $10. You can also streamline your workflow by making rules that you follow yourself. This might mean keeping communication overhead to a minimum by not engaging in Skype calls or online meetings. Or it might mean simply finding ways to be more disciplined in the way you approach work. Setting yourself short blocks of time to work in can help, as can using things like the Pomodoro technique. Then there are tools like Asana.com, that can help with time management, and things like IFTTT.com, that can run your social media for you. Leverage these tools as much as possible to take all the things you're doing every day and to get technology and other people to handle them for you. This is how the busy business person should approach internet marketing, and you'll discover a lot more tips in this in the free resources that came with this training. How to use Facebook ads and Google AdSense for quick profit. Whatever the kind of product you are selling, and whoever you are selling it to, you are now going to want to drive as many visitors to your sales page as possible. One way you can do this is by posting messages in forums and in social media groups, as we've seen. Another way is by leveraging your existing contacts. These are two basic aspects of internet marketing. However, they are both also limited. After a short amount of time, you exhaust your contacts, and you have to be very careful posting in forums and groups in case you get banned. Tip: make sure you are also providing value and taking part in the community. That way people will be more forgiving if you also promote your own things on occasion. If you want to make a bigger splash and get involved in internet marketing properly, then you might consider using social media marketing, or SEO. We'll talk about both of these things in future videos, but suffice to say that both aspects take a certain amount of time and knowledge. Seeing as we're focused on making quick money online using simple business models, we're less interested in that. But perhaps the most powerful, fast way to make money from any of these business models is to promote your pages via AdSense or Facebook ads. An introduction to Facebook ads and how to do it right. Let's start with Facebook ads. As mentioned, Facebook ads are a form of PPC marketing, meaning you only pay when someone clicks on one of your ads. As you might have guessed, Facebook ads will appear on Facebook, thereby giving you the opportunity to advertise to anyone who uses the social media platform. You get to decide what the most you're willing to pay for an ad click by setting what is called the maximum bid. Each time 2 ads are suitable for a single position, they will enter into an automated bidding war, and if your maximum bid is highest, your ad will show. The more you pay, the more often your ad will show. You can show ads a lot for a low price if you pick a smaller niche with less competition. Another reason not to pick fitness if you want to make money fast. You can also set a daily budget, so after a certain amount of clicks at 20 cents each, you'll stop showing your ads for that day. This makes it very easy to set yourself a specific budget and to avoid spending too much. What makes Facebook ads so powerful, though, is the fact that you can use them to target specific people based on the information that they give to Facebook, their age, their sex, their location, as well as their interests, their relationship status, and even their income. Seeing as you're paying for each click, you need to make sure that people only click the ads if they're interested in potentially buying from you. Therefore, you want to make sure that only the right kind of person sees your advert. So if you were selling an ebook on planning a wedding, for instance, then you could choose to show ads only to women who are engaged. This way, there will be a much higher chance of them being interested in your books. Now, if you keep the maximum bid relatively low, then you can show that you're not paying more than 50 cents per visit for people landing on your page, and that all those visits will be from engaged women. If you sell an affiliate ebook for $100 and keep 75 of that, then you can afford to pay for 150 visitors and only make 1 sale. If your sales script is good, which you might not have written, and the product is enticing and correctly priced, then you can very realistically expect to get a conversion rate of anywhere from 1 to 5%. This means that you should make all the money you spend on marketing back and then some. And in theory, this means that you can keep investing more and more into more and more ads, and thereby keep increasing your revenue. Or alternatively, you could invest in ads for more ebooks and that way scale your business. The best thing about engaged women as a target demographic is that the market never runs out. New women are getting engaged all the time, so you'll never reach the point where every potential buyer has seen your advert. Facebook ads are also great because they provide a large amount of data to help you tweak and refine your adverts to the point where you're getting higher profits and better conversions. An introduction to Google AdWords. Google AdWords is essentially the same thing, except the ads are on Google. The difference is that this time, you are now paying for ads to appear at the top of certain search results under the heading Sponsored Results. Otherwise, the system works on a similar PPC basis. This has pros and cons. On the one hand, you can't as precisely target the type of person that is looking for your product. For example, you can't choose to only show it to engaged women. But what you can do is to show your product to people who are searching for how to plan a wedding. This has the benefit of being targeted while also being well-timed. Your audience is not only likely to want to learn about wedding planning, but they're actively looking for information. Google AdWords provides many more tools for refining and enhancing your campaign, which we won't go into detail here. But one example is the option to use negative keywords, terms that you want to exclude people from seeing your ads. For example, you can make sure that no one includes the term free, as those people are unlikely to be willing to pay for your products. Another tip, regardless of which type of PPC you use, is to consider acknowledging that your product is paid right in your advertising text. You can even include the price by saying $30 ebook on wedding planning. You will prevent people from clicking the ad unless they're willing, at least in theory, to pay that much for an ebook. Suddenly, the likelihood of that person buying from you once they land in your sales page will go up. The percentage of people who click the ads and then buy from you should have gone up significantly, and as such, you should be earning a lot more. Once again, it simply requires a business mind in order to start making money online quickly using internet marketing.